Hey guys, welcome to Meets the Fight. So today we have El Tenador to join us. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm good. So what do you enjoy the most in your deck of playstyle right now?
Pretty much no matter where I'm at, I always have a heavy option. Not all the time, but most of the time I usually have a heavy option ready to go wherever I'm at in my deck. And if I don't have one, I usually just have to do a step cancel and boom, got heavy. It does make it slow, so it's a little counterable or reactable can be. But I just like having that power available at all times.
I mean, with heavy attacks, when they are more reactable, you can just bait people with that because they always try to dodge it or something like that.
Yeah, I really enjoy that spinning high kick into face back fist and spinning back fist mix up.
So tell us more about your deck. How does it work?
Well, really, the main thing is mostly horizontals, or I'm sorry, mostly verticals and thrusts, and the main strings, and then all horizontals and the alternates. I keep it that way just because that way it's easier for me to know what kind of move I'm gonna throw out with what button I push. The only exception in the main string would be the first move on the top right stance. It's inside kick, and that's also a horizontal. And I just like being able to start with a horizontal. Everywhere else, I can also, well, I could start with a thrust in the front right stance too as well because I'm a Phasian player, so I have the option of that front stopper there, a fast 12 frame high horizontal or a slow 24 frame high horizontal. And believe it or not, that mix up actually gets people sometimes. Throwing out that raw spinning high kick in neutral isn't the best tactic, but when you got your opponent worked up and trying to look for that inside kick or front stopper, it does a good mix up. You just have to use it sparingly. And then in the back right combo, we have a decent guard break. This one's pretty popular. You see a few different ways of it being used. Sometimes it starts with chin palm, then goes into face back fist, and then then push back kick. And a lot of times it uses a Bakura confirm because it's a little bit better damage by about 8 or 7 depending on how you play or how you have your stats allocated. I used to have this back string actually go face back fist, chin palm, and then guts punch, but it's hard to get the guard break confirmed like that. Plus guts punch into spinning high kick. That works, like only if I get the guts punch guard break or if I'm just fighting someone who doesn't know what they're doing.
There's no guts in your deck.
No, there's no guts punch in my deck. I'm saying that I have another deck that looks exactly like this, except for the bottom right string. It's face back fist, chin palm, then guts punch.
I misheard.
That's okay. I decided to switch it to face back fist, push back kick, chin palm, because the guard break was a little bit more reliable there, a little bit more consistent damage.
So
Go ahead.
how do you like to play it?
I like to play this deck pretty aggressively, using my heavy attacks when you think I'm not going to throw them, and then trying to either just beat down your guard, mixing up the front stopper in where I can, or using the back right stance, the push back kick, feinting the face back fist. Usually you can't do push back kick after feinting back fist because it's just too slow. But if you're expecting the spin back fist, sometimes it works. It's not consistent, so I wouldn't recommend doing that normally. If you feint face back fist, I would normally recommend going with spin back fist just because it's a better option after feinting, less reactable. But mostly I like playing it here. I'll give some examples. It's probably more what you're looking for anyway. I have a fast part right here. It would be the first string, and then I use the Urmawashi mix up to get back into there. Yeah, and having that Urmawashi, a lot of times people will expect the inside kick and duck too fast, and then when they stand back up, they're getting hit with that spinning high. It's pretty nice. I like having switch kick here because that gives me a little bit of reach, a little bit of range. I would like to have something heavier there. In my gloves deck, I've got back fist there, which is what I would like, but otherwise if I kept that in my main deck, that would just be too slow.
So how do you play against different styles?
Depends. For windfalls, I try to be kind of I try to pay attention with how the Windfall would be using their well, with any class, really. I would just try to pay attention to how they're using their defense so I can plan my defense around it. Like if I see a Windfall who's dodging a whole lot, or feinting moves and then dodging after the feint to try to bait the parry out so they can dodge the parry and get frame advantage off of that, I'll either mash and start hitting them or just straight up feint the parry so they don't get that frame advantage on there. And same thing with any of the other class, how that works.
And it's just something you're trying to improve.
I'm always trying to improve. As far as deck building goes, I think once you have a grasp of how decks work, of how the frame advantage on the moves work, there's definitely a cap there. You can't get any better at some points. This deck could be better, but I like the way this one works, so I'm not really going to change that. But defensively, you can always be better. And as well as how you employ your offensive tactics, you can always be better. Those never stop improving on those two fronts.
So let's do some fights to see it in action.
Cool.